Good afternoon, students. You are welcome to e-learning class of Oriental Public School. I am Pankaj Kumar Mishra here with a video of class 10 history. The topic print culture and the modern world. This is the fourth part of this lesson. In the previous video, we have talked about the print revolution and its impact. Today we are going to read about the reading mania. Here we will read what is reading mania, how this mania a kind of habit. As you are seeing here, the reading mania. This reading mania is a kind of reading habit that rapidly rise in the 17th and 18th century in the literacy rate of the Europe, which create this condition of reading mania. So let's begin this topic. As you are seeing here, the 17th and 18th century saw a rapid rise in the literacy rate. Before this period, there was a little bit amount of literacy in the European countries or other parts of the world, but after 17th and 18th century, gradually the rate of literacy rose up. Churches started setting schools in villages. These schools enhanced the literacy rate of the European society. These schools were not for the nobles class, but for the peasants and working class. As you know that before this period, nobles and churches were already having education and they were literate. But what about those peasants and labor class people? They were not having the appropriate technology and facilities for getting education. So the church started setting up schools in the villages, and this school helps the noble classes like peasants and working classes to enhance their education. By the end of the 18th century, literacy rate in Europe was as high as 60 to 80%. As you are seeing here, by the end of the 18th century, we are talking here, the literacy rate in Europe was as high as 60 to 80%. This is a very big improvement in the literacy rate of Europe as compared to before this era. Now, booksellers employed salespersons who went around villages carrying books for sale. Because in that period, people were totally unknown about book. Even they were not interested to buy the books. Even they were not able to buy the books from the town areas. So booksellers thought that if we want to improve our sales, means we will have to hire or employ salesperson. What was the work of these salespersons? The salespersons went around the villages carrying books for sale. In England, penny chapbook were sold. You are seeing here penny chapbooks. It is a kind of book, very small books. This was introduced in England. Newspaper carried information about trade and war. Even newspapers were full of different type information. It was also regarding the wars, because war was very important topic during that period. So newspaper was a kind of source of getting different types of information during that period. It also enhanced the literacy rate and interest of the book readers. Scientists like Isaac Newton began to publish their discoveries. As you know that there are many scientists, one of them Isaac Newton, who has discovered many laws and theories. His theories were introduced during that period. Thinkers like Thomas Paine gained popularity. One thinker, many thinkers here. I am giving just one example of Thomas Paine. He also got popularity during that period. The literate population started to rise against the tyranny. Many types of wrong things was imposed in the society. As the people were getting literacy, as they were being literate, they started to against those all the things that were tyranny of them. Louis Sebastien Mercier. This is very remarkable name in the history of print culture. Temples, therefore, trends of the world, tremble before the virtual writer. The meaning of this phrase. This is the phrase, the cruel rulers will come to an end when the writer will race against them. Louis Sebastien Mercier was one of them who tried to bring the meaning of this tyranny rule among the people, and he clarified the meaning of this. The cruel rulers will come to end when the writers will race against them. Some people believe that French Revolution evolved due to the print culture. This is also one of the philosophy behind this, because there are many people and the different peoples were having different ideas. So some people also believe that French revolutions evolved due to the print culture. Now moving to the next topic, that is the 19th century. Here we are going to read what happened during this 19th century in the field of print. The Europe witnessed great leaps in the mass literacy. As in the previous topic we have read about, Europe got a quantum jump in the field of literacy. Primary education was made compulsory, because in the field of education, if you are not having a good and well system of primary education, means you cannot create a higher education in a proper way. So production of school textbooks increased, because they required school textbook, because primary education was started and the primary education required different types of books. So booksellers also, producer also started to produce textbook regarding their education. Grimm brothers and Jacobs were the famous publisher. So there were many publishers in the NCERT book. It is mentioned here, Grimm brothers, you recall this name, and Jacob. These were the famous publishers of the fairy tales. As you know that fairy tales, it is a kind of story book which is very interesting for the students of the primary education. You might have learned about this. This is containing of lot of stories and folk tales. So like children, women became important readers. The children were also one of the important group of readers. Beside this, women also became one important reader. The proper behavior and housekeeping novels became popular among women, because women were getting a lot of information through this book. They were getting how to keep, how to manage their homes, how to learn different types of housekeeping habit. So these types of books were also available for the women. Jane Austen and Burnet's sister were the famous women novelists. These were the women novelists, because that period produced many women novelists. Few of them are Jane Austen and Burnet's sisters were the famous women novelists. Improvement in the print technology in the 19th century. This topic we will cover in the next video. I think it is clear. Thank you. Have a nice day.